For those of you who have saw this, that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and do a reply to Blue Skies Media's video here. I got some things I want to say here based on the words that he said here. Okay, from the very beginning, I told you I saw red flags. The red flags still stand. Okay, I never said he was working for sure with anybody, and I never said that he was actually working with Monday Forever Alone Monday. Although Monday Forever Alone Monday, he clearly exhibits somebody with very, very professionally skilled talking skills, somebody that's done it for a living, okay, and there's no way he just came up on scene a year or so ago and it'd be doing all this Forever Alone topics, and when people want to say, well, Forever Alone's older than TFL, well, yeah, it goes back to the 1800s, but it was also, as I've already pointed out in the past, okay, it was a poem, you know. It was wrote by a female, and it had nothing to do with people being forever alone. That's right. Only in 2010, 2011, I already showed you the history, did a guy come up and take what this gal wrote back in the 1800s and completely flipped and manipulated it and turned it into his want. Which means the Forever Alone from the 1800s is not the Forever Alone today. So Forever Alone of today is not older than TFL. Because when you go back and study Forever Alone, back to the 1800s, it's only one person ever wrote it, was a female, and it was never about what it is now. You cannot take something, change the words, flip it around to a different meaning, and say that's what it meant back then, without being a deceiver or a liar. So, to the person who makes the statements that Forever Alone's older than TFL, has been around the world on this earth longer than TFL has ever been. They clearly had no clue of what they were talking about. They're clearly out to lunch in their head. Now, I know that's off topic, but I'm going to get to this in a little bit. Okay? The point of this is the fact is that Forever Alone is nothing more than a terminology in today's society that came in 2010, 2011 online, okay, that is being used as another name for guys who aren't able to get a female in their life, which has all been socially engineered. My red flags with this guy here from the very beginning was the fact that he spoke out and went, but this could just also be ignorance too. It could be this young man right here, and I'll call him a young man because he is compared to me, okay? This man here is spoke out, made a video reply at Forever Alone Monday, okay? And so, that of course that drew attention because the Forever Alone Monday is already distributed and well, my gut tells me I see it. And I'm sorry that other people can't see it. Ask yourself a question. When's the last time Forever Alone Monday ever talked about the cause of the problem? Okay, he's going to use the cause of the problem's looksism. Well, there's truth to what he's saying, but that's not the real root cause. That is only one cause. The main cause is social engineering. The main factors is social engineering. And you're not going to ever hear him mention that. I have yet to hear him mention it. But I had to, even though I said openly the same thing I said about this guy, okay, about Forever Alone Monday, I said openly, get out of here. Sorry, I had an interruption there. Even though I said openly that I was not saying that Forever Alone Monday was an agent, but the signs are there that he could possibly be. But if I said possibly be, it don't mean he is. The best way to clarify that would have been Forever Alone Monday to acknowledge my statements. To maybe had me on a live stream or had Steve Hoke on a live stream. That would have been the best way to acknowledge that. And he could have confirmed totally differently, right? He didn't do that. And then when somebody who's not even associated with, somebody that comes along that has nothing to do with anything and just simply asks a plain old question like, are you ever good? Because Steve Hoke did do a video asking Monday Forever Alone Monday to do a live stream with him or him on his channel, what have you, right? When this person come along and simply just made a statement, are you ever going to do a live stream with Steve Hoka? It comes to show that Monday Forever Alone Monday had seen that video of Steve Hoka's. Proof is in the pudding. Just by Monday Forever Alone Monday's response. He had seen the video. He knew about it. Of course he did, because this guy was aware of who me and Steve was before he ever came on scene. There's no way in hell he came up here and did dating scene topics for the last year and a half and didn't know who Steve Hoke and I was. That would be complete lunacy to even believe that, okay? And he demonstrated that when that question was asked, that he had seen Steve's video. And what he done was turn around, and instead of being honest with the guy and saying, well, I ain't got time right now or anything, you know what I'm saying? Okay, or I don't really know Steve Hoke, don't know if I want to do it. He could have said a million different things. But instead he goes, I'm too busy being a New World Order agent. Okay? When he done that, okay, at that point nobody had ever said he was an agent. Nobody ever said that, not even me, not even Steve Hoka. We said there was a chance he could be because of his professionalism, okay? But the difference is could and might possibly does not mean you're calling him that. No different than this guy. I said, here's the red flags. He has thrown up red flags. He does not, he does not have the characteristics of a real TFL. Oh, he talks the talk, great actor, right? But then again, is he? Maybe he's really a TFLer who just ain't awake to what's going on in society. Who fell down the psyop rabbit hole with Monday Forever Alone Monday. And I'll say fell down the psyop rabbit hole with Forever Alone Monday because it's Forever Alone Monday that wouldn't acknowledge me and Steven as he's the one that brought up NWO, not us. If you was wanting to ditch if you was really wanting to say, look, I'm not no damn agent, you would have had one of us on your live stream and you would talk about social engineering with us. And that's something you're not going to get Paul Elam to do. That's something you're not going to get Girls' Rights What Karen Stroud to do. That's right. That's not something you're going to get agents that are online to do. Is talk about the root cause. That's because they're not allowed to talk about the actual root cause. Powers to be would not put up with that. You're not allowed to expose them. Okay, so you have to keep that under the wraps, okay, all times. So, for Monday Forever Alone Monday has done this to himself. He can blame nobody but himself at this point. He has done this actually to himself. Now, this guy here, I'm going to play his video in here in just a second. Even if you have watched it, fine. If you haven't, then you might want to hear this, okay? This guy here has always been, he's got the red flags there. And he has said things that are definitely red flags. And his actions, first off, if you're suffering as hardcore as he is with TFL, and people come up that actually are suffering from it themselves and leave comments trying to supporting you, agreeing with you, okay, and you're so isolated as this guy claims he is. But, recently it showed he's not as isolated as he claimed he was. Now, hasn't he? Yeah, he seems to have friends. But we're not going to say, I'm not going to go too far with that. I'm only going to say this. He don't leave comments. Okay, he does not leave comments. I have yet to see any comment that he's ever left. I'm not going to go all over YouTube looking through everybody's video that he may have visited looking to see if he left a comment. Somebody can say they saw he has, and I take that with a grain of salt. A grain of sand. That's how much I believe that. Because we got so many liars in today's society because you said you saw it, don't mean you did. You could be lying. Because he's got no comments on his own channel whatsoever. And you cannot tell me that he's not reading the comments. You're damn right he is. Okay? And if you just say no, he don't read his comments, you're full of shit. That's all I got to tell you, okay? You're full of shit. Now, I'm going to play this guy's video because I got some things I want to say concerning this, okay? Because there's the chance this guy actually is a TFLer and he's just a strange character, okay? And may not even be looked into this. There's also a chance I'm going to give you 3 theories, okay? I have 3 theories here going on. He is throwing up red flags. Don't never, ever, ever disregard red flags when you hear them. It don't mean you may not be wrong. It don't mean you'll be right. It don't mean you'll be wrong. But you don't disregard them. That's the time you keep your eyes on them. Because, say, I don't know him. None of you people know him. He's just a face on the internet, isn't he? We've had psyop after psyop been pulled on us. So many lies are going on. So much evil's going on. So, with knowing all that, you have to keep your eyes on it when people throw red flags. And he threw red flags. He has thrown more than one red flag. So let's play this.
Work a dead-end job and to be around shitheads, awful people who don't give 2 fucks about me. As a matter of fact, they hate me and want me to suffer. They actually do. They laugh at my failures. It's fun for them to see me suffer. And I can't even watch any movies or shows because they're so dumb. They don't entertain me. They depress me even more. And I watch YouTube and it's just more of this stupid right versus left, SJWs versus logic, and it's just, I just see how stupid people are. Just good fucking God. These people are, like, at least the conservatives, well, they know there's 2 genders, so slow clap for that. These are the same people? Oh, great. This shit is fucking insane. It's disgusting. This modern day SJW rainbow flag movement, the fucking pride parade, barreling down the street dressed in nearly naked costumes with dildos stuck to their bodies and like 8-year-old kids right in the middle of this shit. This is so disgusting. This world is a filthy, vile hellhole full of dumb monkeys. Dumb fucking monkeys. NPCs.
See, I agree with what he's saying here because he's actually telling you the truth. I wouldn't call them dumb monkeys. He'll probably get slammed for being a racist now. No lie. I mean, and I don't think he's being racist at all. Okay. And you can tell he already has a black man as a friend. He showed that in a video, okay? But that ain't gonna matter. He's gonna probably be slammed for being a racist because he's talking about what he's saying is true, but he used the word monkeys, so they'll probably just slam him for being racist now, but I don't see being racist. This is why I like to use what he's talking about as the zombie apocalypse. Now, we have a world full of zombies. Completely stupid people. Zombies. Yeah. So I'm with him on what he's talking about because he's actually telling you the truth.
And you can never ever talk any sense into these people. If you even so much as try to help them and enlighten them and show them that there's a better way to open their minds, to make them more conscious, spread the love,
Now I'm careful with them words. Spread the love. We have that going on. That is something that's being socially engineered for one world religion. Okay? And it is phony as all hell. Okay, love and light, love and light. Ole Demigard, he'll teach you love and light, but if you go to his website, you'll see the very opposite of what he's preaching. Yeah, that's what it is. When they say love and light, they barely mean evil and death.
Not this fake fucking hippie SJW love, real love. Not this love towards the appropriate group's protected class, like fake empathy for illegal immigrants and MS-13 members and fucking terrorists and pedophiles, no. Actual love, compassion, and empathy for people who deserve it. Like maybe helping the fucking rape victims in the UK who are getting fucking gang raped by Muslim migrants. But no, they're white, so they deserve it. So just let this shit keep happening. And not only that,
see what he's talking about right there has actually been deliberately done. That is one of the strategies of NWO. It's been deliberately done to dedicate to destroy societies and to divide and conquer.
Violently attack and censor people who are bringing attention to the fact that their fucking daughters are being raped. What a disgusting shithole of a world we.
It ain't just that daughters are being raped, men are being fucking abused, men are your primary victims. Not the daughters. Not that there isn't women being raped. But if you was to push we have a rape culture and women are the victims, then you're out to lunch in your head. Okay, then you're definitely part of the system, right? That means you're deliberately deceiving people. Now, I'm not saying he said that. But I'm going to go correct right there. I'm going to correct this straight up. Because he lets you have it. Their fucking daughters are being raped. We do not have a rape culture. They don't have a rape culture over the United Kingdom either. Don't say there is, because there isn't. Now, I didn't say he said there is, but I'm going to go off on this one because I'm not going to have a lie put out there that isn't true. Okay? I'm not going to go there with anybody, including this guy. Okay? There is no rape culture. I'm not saying women don't have daughters that ain't being raped. In an over-sexualized society, our world has been totally over-sexualized. Our world, not just here in the U.S. It's been deliberately done. So yeah, and then you got hundreds and hundreds of millions of men who can't even get a woman in their life, but yet sex is thrown in their face their whole life. So yeah, there would be truth in his statement. But you also got to remember, the primary victim is not the woman. It's the man.
Living.
Because in reality, the NWO, both genders are victims. And I don't care what anybody says, both genders are victims. But you do have a primary and a secondary. Primary are men. Women are secondary, not primary.
And the only thing a guy like me can do is this temporary escapism, but it gets worse every time I come back because it gets even harder to relate to people because they're so simplistic. I mean, I saw a friend of mine and she just awkwardly said, "How's things?" and hugged me. I couldn't answer her. I couldn't say anything because I knew she couldn't understand anything I would say to her, and I just couldn't put it in words because human language is quite frankly too primitive to explain the things that I've seen. And I'm not saying I'm some super genius or anything like that. I've just experienced things that most other people haven't. Just because I've been places they haven't. Quite frankly, by accident. I never did any of this on purpose. I just happened to have discovered certain things, and so every time I come back, it hurts me. It brings me so much pain, and I wondered when I was in that state, is this where you go when you die? And I sure as fuck hope so, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to die soon. I'm pretty sure I can't stand to live here.
See, this could be a red flag. This is one of the reasons I decided to do this video. This could also be somebody that's reaching out for help, that's right at the end, gonna commit suicide. This also, I'm gonna give you my theories on this. There's 3 ways this could play. He could be 100% legit, be a TFLer, just be a strange character, not reply to anybody, although that's not normal human nature for the normal person that goes through TFL, because they have no support from anybody. So when they get people that are actually living and experiencing what they are, they will normally answer them people, and they will get support from them people. That's normal human nature. And see, I've told you before, he doesn't represent normal human nature. But let's just go that if he was real and he's a strange cat and he's actually living TFL, he's actually going through this stuff that he calls himself TFL and CFA, right? There's one. Then there's the red flags. Okay? What if he's not? What if he's playing you? What if they were setting something up and he was going to be the next Elliot Rodgers? I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying what if, right? Never would I ever say it's true. I'm giving you 3 theories. That's all I'm doing, okay? If the second theory was to be so, then the third theory would be, because we've talked about and I've showed the red flags, and people are aware of that, and he understands people are aware of it. Not that this is even true. Remember, this is only theories, right? There's always the chance that if it was so, see, there's the big if, because I'm not saying it is, right? If it was true and that's what was going on, then he might back out of the scene now. They may cancel what they were going to do. They may make another plan for a different route or a different way. Okay? And so then how would he back out of the scene? He would back out of the scene by what you're seeing here. Tell you he's getting ready to kill himself, off himself. Now, these theories are all just what they are. If I go with the first one and say, let's see, he is a TFLer. Let's say he is forever alone. Let's say he's actually, because he tells a lot of truth here. Let's say he's really going through it, okay? And he's just a strange cat. Then he's his own enemy. Because when he has people that are living it, that are reaching out to support him, which normal human being going through this, they don't have people they can talk to that understand them, that's living it. So when they actually get a chance and they meet other people that are living what they are and going through it, they will reach out and talk to them, meet some of them, and they'll get the support group, which does help them. It's not 100% proof cure of anything, because on an individual basis, it affects everybody a little harder than other people, but overall, it does cause a lot of mental issues and health issues. And so I'm not going to go either way. I mean, he may be 100% legit, and if he's 100% legit, then what you're hearing is suicidal talk. And we've already known TFLers to kill themselves. That's not good. There's nothing good about what's going on here. Listen up.
I cannot stand, like I said, it's just going to be breaking my back, working some dead-end job. Because look, the only thing you can do here as a human being is you're supposed to, the whole object is to just get rich. Get rich, have fancy toys, and if you're lucky, some gold digger will see your resources and want to drain you for your resources in exchange for her nasty ass used up vagina that you you might be lucky enough to fuck. So to be successful, I get to spend my life doing hard, stressful work to become an entrepreneur in some form so I can fill my bank and my pockets and fill my life, my empty, pointless existence with material stuff, with crap, with junk, with flat screen TVs, fancy cars, and fucking toys with screens, iPhones, and whatever the fucking, and have some plastic, unbelievably shallow fucking bimbo target me to basically exploit me for those resources that I've worked hard to gain.
I 100% totally agree with him. I totally understand exactly what he's talking about. And he is totally telling you the truth. There's not one bit of deception here. Every last word of what he just said is all 100% spot on. And I stand with him on this. You better understand that. I told you I do not dislike this guy. How can I dislike somebody I don't know? I pay attention to red flags. And like I said, I never said that he is an actor, that he is going to be the next Elliot Rodgers. I pointed out the red flags. I pointed out the things that's not normal and said, keep your eyes on them. That's all I did. Okay? I gave you 3 theories just a little bit ago. And them are the theories I'm going to stick with because I don't know him personally. I'm going to say if he was, then that's why I leave it a big if. If he was actually being an actor and going to play another Elliot Rodgers situation out for money. Not that he is, okay? I don't believe he actually is after really watching him. The more I watch him now, even though the red flags are there, the more it's leaning back to there's a good chance he's 100% legit. And not an actor, not a stage show, not nothing. And I'm going to tell you that right now. The more I watch, the more I see, the more I. But it still don't disregard the red flags. You never disregard red flags. Okay? I don't disregard red flags. There could be other reasons he said what he did that flew up the red flags. Okay? But you never know for sure what the reasons are when you don't know somebody. And when the red flags go up, you have to keep your eyes on them. You don't disregard them.
At best, I'll just be a host for a leech. And that's it. And money can never satisfy me because I've experienced something much deeper and much more profound and much more. I can't even describe it, like fulfilling to the soul.
I would agree with him. I know there's a lot of people out here because oh, that's a crock of shit because they are only after money and they're caught into this matrix of money, 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 money. Everything I've done online, I've done from my heart. Throughout my life, I've helped other people. I've fixed cars, rebuilt carburetors back when we had carburetors for people. I've fixed plumbing. I've fixed electrical. I've done all kinds of things through my life for people and never charged them a penny and didn't even know them. I done it because I wanted to, because I care from the goodness of my heart, because I actually care about everybody. So, I totally understand what he's talking about here. And the more I watch of him, the more I see that there's a really high chance this guy's 100% legit and not an actor, not anything. You know? But the question mark is this. I would hate to see this. I would hate to see him off himself. And I'm serious. And not be an actor, but being real. But then at the same time, if he's real about what he's saying, he's his own worst enemy. He's got tons of people over here that are in the manosphere that are living TFL forever long. They're living it. Going through all the stress of not having a mate in their life, neither. But yet, yet he won't talk to any of them? That's right. See, that's the part I told you that doesn't add up. So if he's 100% legit and he's just a strange cat, right? Let's just go with that for a moment. then he would also be his own worst enemy at the same time. Do you get what I'm saying? He would also have to be his own worst enemy. That he don't need enemies because he's his own enemy.
Something that just makes me so happy that might not even be real. Who knows? Those experiences could be real. They might be all in my head, just a product of a drug. But it's so weird that a drug exists that can do that. But after coming back from that, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about money. And what I really want is love. The one beautiful thing on this planet is to share that love, that experience of love with a woman. And I know I've experienced that before. And I almost experienced that again with somebody very special. And I fucked it up. I blew it because I'd been through so much in my life by this point that I overreacted to a situation because I thought I was getting hurt again, like I have been so many times, and I tried to apologize. And
So what he's talking about here is what everybody would really understand if he's experienced real love, which I have. Then I totally with him, and I would totally understand him 100%. And then he almost had a chance again, and he's blaming himself for messing it up. Blaming himself for messing it up. But I can totally understand why he's doing what he's doing here and why he's saying what he's saying. Okay? I really do. If this is legit, then I'm totally with him on this and understand what he's talking about. Okay? But unfortunately, social engineering is the biggest cause of all of our problems. Social engineering is where our problems come from. Problem, reaction, solution. For the majority of people in today's society, the problems come from social engineering, and they don't even know it.
work my way back, but she wouldn't forgive me. So now I have to spend the rest of my life alone. Oh, and the other thing,
Seeing if she wouldn't forgive him means she really didn't like him to begin with. Because if he thought he almost really had it, that means she must have really liked him. And if she actually really liked him, she would have forgave him. So this says that he had an illusion going on and said that she liked him more than. Remember, I talked to you yesterday on a live stream. I did a live stream on the mask. You got to pay attention. Because he could be convinced that she really liked him the entire time she had her mask on. That's right. Because one thing that he said here would stand out is, and she wouldn't forgive me. That doesn't come from somebody that really liked you. That's right. It isn't like you did something so awful and she knew you for so long that she wouldn't forgive you. No, not at all. And we're all human beings and we all make mistakes, including hers. That's right, including the females. So what he really told you right here when she says, but she wouldn't forgive me, was he liked her more than she liked him. That's right.
you get it in life, if you're born good looking, if you're born with the right genetics, yeah, you can be a total piece of shit, but you'll have women love you. And I mean not just want to fuck you, but they'll literally fall in love with somebody who's good looking, even if that guy's a piece of shit. That guy can treat her like absolute garbage, and
Totally true. Totally true.
she'll still coming back, still keep coming back to him. And even if she doesn't, even if she finally just gets sick of his shit, there'll be another one right afterwards. There'll be plenty. And guys who are people who are good looking make a lot more money. They have a lot more opportunities. So they pretty much have a great life because they're born with it. We do not live in a meritocracy at all. You are treated differently based on your looks. You're successful based on where you lie in the social hierarchy. And that is mostly based on looks.
He's correct about that. And this is where our world is so sick. Because first off, nobody keeps their looks. See, none of you want to think about that. None of you want to live past today or tomorrow. All of you want to live in this mirage, this bubble, this illusion. You live in this bubble. You don't even live in reality. You live in a bubble. You all think somehow, whether it's, and he's correct about what he's talking about. This is what's so sad. He is so correct. He is not lying to you. Okay? But this comes to show how messed up people's brains are in today's society. When I said we live in the zombie apocalypse, I'm not lying to you. You cannot fix stupid. And we have a massive epidemic. I mean, this epidemic is more massive than the feminist movement. It's more massive than TFL and the feminist movement and incel put together. This is so massive, it's the majority of the population across the world. Across the world. Stupidness. Being completely brain dead. Zombies. Because you have placed looks on everything this guy's saying.
It is not based on hard work. You can work your ass off and get absolutely nowhere, and this is my future.
That's correct. You can work your butt off and get nowhere. You won't get the promotions because the good looker gets the promotions. You know, the one that ain't keeping their looks. And you find out the good looking people become the most self entitled, narcissist pieces of crap because of this epidemic he's talking about. But this epidemic comes from social engineering. Divide and conquer. That's where it comes from. NWO, social engineering, divide and conquer. And you're all going right down that rabbit hole. Companies, businesses, all of you are. That's right. And what he's saying is true. There's no lies here. This is all truth.
To be a piece of shit, a piece of garbage. No matter how good of a person I actually am. And I'm not saying I am anymore, but I really was. I was actually a very kind, very loving person. And there were people that did recognize that and see that, but
Yeah, they destroy good people. It's like yesterday when I did my live stream on the mask. The person made the statement that yes, there's people who care out there. People who care about other people. And that we call them people morons. See, what did you just talk about here? That's right.
and there were people that did recognize that and see that, but this woman being one of them, and I fucked up
See,
because I thought she was just tossing me to the curb.
this is where I don't think he fucked up as much as he thinks he did. I think he read more into her than was really there. She had her mask on.
And she didn't tell me that she wasn't at the time, and I'm really upset with her that she just didn't communicate with me. Like, if she'd have just told me, but that's another story.
No, she wasn't going to because she really didn't see. You read more into her than what was ever there. She had her mask on. That's right.
So, you know, I'm about to run out of space, and this is a pretty long video, so I don't think I can do this. I'm looking at life now, and I come back and I sit here in my apartment, and I'm terrified. I'm scared because, you know, I'm getting older. I'm already, like, I was an average looking person in my 20s, and maybe just slightly on the high enough end of average that I could attract a woman, but not really, you know, just about attract her, but then she'd flake on me because she has like 10, 20 better options. And, you know, that's just reality. That's the way it is. But this world is disgusting, and I don't see any way for a person like me to live. If I just continue to live, it will be absolute torture. My life will be hell. I'll just be a slave, a wage slave to work and work myself into a grave and just die dirt poor and alone. Not dirt poor, but, you know, not in a place of especially high financial and social status, which will therefore mean that I'm a loser and a piece of shit, and I'll continue to be treated as such, and the treatment I receive will get worse as I get older and become more of a creepy old man. You know, especially like, I got these tattoos and everything when I was young, you know, not really thinking, giving a fuck, not expecting to live much longer, to be honest, and, you know, now I just look like a criminal and a thug, and I'll be a creepy old criminal and a thug, and the treatment I will receive will get much worse and probably, I imagine, more violent. And it's already been really fucking violent. My life has been violent. People have tried to kill me repeatedly, jump me, and just, I don't know.
See, now this part right here is more red flags. This is why I don't let the red flags down on this guy. Okay? I can't let the red flags down because if I try, he just throws out more red flags. This, if, now that's why I say it's an if. If the situation is he's an actor and this is all fraudulent because of the fact that the red flags have been exposed and they might feel there's just enough people watching and know this that they better not use him and they could be canceling the act. That's right. So he's up here talking about suicide and then he disappears offline. You never hear from him again. Okay? Or they don't give a shit and they go on with their plan and we have our next Elliot Rodgers. And suddenly his mug's all over the news. Okay? At which point you know it's fraud, you know it's fake. You know it's staged. Okay? But what I'd hate to see is he's actually real. And his own worst enemy, by not associating with other people that are like-minded going through the same problems, because he wants to be a stubborn and a strange cat, and he's real, and then he goes and offs himself, because I could understand why he would off himself too. Either way around, this is not a good scenario. That's the reason I wanted to do the reply here, okay? So I don't know what to think for sure. I can only tell you that the more I watch him, I think the more of a chance that we have somebody that's legitimately a TFLer that has a lot of problems. Okay, has a lot of issues. But this is what happens in real life in today's society. Because we live in a completely evil, twisted society full of a bunch of freaking zombies. And I hate to say that, but that's the way I look at it. Okay, the zombie apocalypse. Can't fix stupid, that's right. And people are that evil. Because everything's competitive. It's one up in somebody else. It's everything he talked about here. You know? So I stand on him and a lot of the stuff he said here. But I also wanted you to see what was said here yourself, okay? Just, my opinion is the more I watch him, the more I think there's a good chance he's legit. Okay? But I still don't let off the red flags because you can't. You take away the red flags because, oh no, I know he's legit when you don't know him and he's not. You went down the rabbit hole. So you just be aware of the red flags and don't say he is because he very well may not be, okay? He could be 100% legit. Okay, that's why I talked about Monday Forever Alone Monday. There's so many other ways he could have went about it, and all he managed to do was tell on himself. Okay? He could have went about it so many other ways, and all he managed to do was tell on himself. And you won't hear Monday Forever Alone Monday talk about the root cause. I don't think he's going to do a special series on social engineering. Okay, and the globalists. No, I don't see him doing that. And then the red flags always stand there. Monday Forever Alone Monday. I really feel is an agent, okay? This guy here became questionable whether he was an actor working for the system for money or whether he's legit. And that's because of his own mouth and the red flags that's went up, okay? But that doesn't mean he is, man. He could be totally legit. But then he's also, like I said earlier, then he's his own worst enemy. Because he has people that would support him and be there, and he can make friends and talk with people that are living a lot of these experiences themselves. And rather than do that, he completely ignores all of you. That's what makes you think possible actor. It's by the red flags, because that's a red flag. Okay? And if he's not, like I told you, if he's 100% legit, then he's his own worst enemy. He really is. And he don't need enemies because he's his own enemy. With that being said, I'm going to get on out of here. You have a good one.